UndergroundHipHop.com, Wednesday Night Live, Up Radio. It's the on and on of JCO. Ladies and gentlemen, a man of iconic proportions right about now. We got Pete Rock in the house, y'all. Legendary Pete Rock. First of all, we're just gonna get right into it, man.
That's what's up.
From when you first sold your first beat, and you look at the way things are going right now, with producers getting ridiculous amounts of money for making beats. Did you think? What do you generally just think about the whole producer game and how it's evolved and the money that's being made? And did you think that it would ever, come to this?
Well, hip hop is a big business right now. You know what I'm saying? Expanded worldwide. Everybody's doing it from. You have different genres of hip hop music. What I've done is like just the real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's a good thing to make a shitload of money, you know what I'm saying?
It's a good look.
The way they've changed the game, that's lovely, especially if you still have the skills to do music. And, when I first started back then, I was getting that a lot of money too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of the first producers to kind of flip beats in the 90s on some other new wave hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, just changing the game and having the people follow, you know what I'm saying, what I'm doing or understand what I'm doing. I thought I was ahead of my time back then. Even some of the songs that I made back then are still hot today. That tells me that I did the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of the music that you hear today, some of it is like not classic. It doesn't pierce your soul in any type of way. And 10 years from now, it'll just be delete, you know what I'm saying? And with the type of music I do, I want people to always remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave a mark on the world.
And you definitely left your mark on the world with your body of work, man. Now, let's go back. You broke out in the late 80s with Marley Marl on BLS's In Control with Marley Marl show.
Definitely.
Came on Fridays and Saturday nights. Real legendary show.
Thanks, man.
How did you get put on to that whole situation? And talk a little bit about the way Marley Marl influenced you and what you took away from that whole experience.
I have to say through my cousin Heavy D is how I met Marley, and that's how that whole thing started. I was like 14 years old, and at the time Marley had needed a DJ backup to go on the radio, and one of his previous DJs had got into a car accident, you know what I'm saying, and was at the time he really needed someone to come in and fill in. So I met him at the time, and my Heavy, was pitching me. He was basically saying, my cousin, he's real nice. And then, he tried me out, and then it was just history from there, you know what I'm saying? And then he influenced me a lot because I was a fan of, like, Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole Juice Crew.
Yeah.
And I was being a spectator at that point, listening to what he was doing.
How old were you at that time?
I think I had to have been like 10 or 11, you know what I'm saying, checking out Marley and his production. And that kind of set me and moved me, like the way he was making his hip-hop beats. But then when I started being more and more curious about producing, and then when I actually got the actual niche on how to do beats, I just kind of ran with the program and kind of wanted to do something different for Marley, you know what I'm saying? That kind of defined and chiseled my like who I am, who I was or whatever. And to me, it just helped chisel my name. It just helped, define who I really was and what I was really about back then. And it was very important at that time to me because I was really like a music since 3 years old. My father was a big, huge record collector and a DJ himself. So, it was always in the blood since like forever, since I was born into it. And then today it's just like, I want to see and hear that same music again. You know what I'm saying? Bring back the real. But cats, I gotta say, on the underground, they gotta step the game up. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people when they hear the word underground, it's it's a bad thing in certain people's eyes and ears, but they don't understand like the love and the passion we have for doing this type of music. What I have to say to the underground is like, just step your music up to the best of your ability, man. Like, reach out and touch people with your music is very important, or you'll just be labeled as a one sound type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do various types of music. Like me, I'm into R&B too. You know what I'm saying? I'm into rock music. You know what I'm saying? Jazz, of course, soul. That's where I started my career. But all that stuff is important in hip